There was an investigation happening in Massachusetts where we've seen drones flying around. It says they were in connection with a deadly drone strike that actually killed some people over in Jordan. So this dude got arrested. A dual U.S.-Iranian national of Natick, Mass. arrested along with this guy 38. Mohammed and Mohammed. Mahdi Mohammed and Mohammed got arrested. The FBI has received more than 5,000 reported drone sightings in the last few weeks, with approximately 100 leads generated, which means you're all just crazy. Arrests made related to drones. You can see Boston reporting that there was an investigation happening in Massachusetts where we've seen drones flying around. In Natick, it's linked to arrest of 2 Iranians, and we actually have the criminal complaint, which was filed under seal, a highly sensitive document from the District of Massachusetts. The U.S. government, the DOJ, arresting and criminally charging Mahdi Mohammed Sadeghi and Mohammed Abedini. And it's related to drones. Now, they were arrested in Massachusetts, but the drones that they had an issue with were overseas in Jordan. And so we're asking ourselves, is there any relation? Because we've also seen that the governments of New Jersey, I believe, made other arrests for other hobbyist drones operators who were flying their drones in what looked like a response to try to investigate the other drones. Okay, so a lot of drone arrests and drone activity is happening. These guys were just arrested, and they were arrested domestically in the United States. And so, of course, the question is, what were they doing here if they were flying drones and killing Americans overseas? Here is the headline from WCVB. Says they were in connection with a deadly drone strike that actually killed some people over in Jordan. Here's how the DOJ reported this, saying the founder of an Iranian company was arrested for providing material support to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard and a scheme to procure sensitive U.S. technology to use in their drones. And one of those killed 3 U.S. service members, right? So this dude got arrested. A dual U.S.-Iranian national of Natick, Mass. arrested along with this guy 38. Mohammed and Mohammed. Mahdi Mohammed and Mohammed got arrested. Charged in federal court in Boston, conspiring to export sophisticated electronic components from the United States in violation of export rules. Sadeghi was arrested today, made an initial appearance in Massachusetts. According to court documents, he's the founder and director of a company called Sanat Danesh Rapuyan Affleck Company. That's a big name. That manufactures navigation modules used in the Iranian military's drone program. SDRA main business is sale of proprietary navigation systems known as the Saphir navigation system. As alleged in court documents, they conspired to export this technology. Laws restrict that. So what he did is he established a front company in Switzerland. Today, the Justice Department, they had a whole press briefing on it. They were very excited about this. You can see FBI Boston came out. They all stood in front of a podium. And here's what that looked like. They said, FBI Boston special agent in charge. Her name is Jody Cohen. Probably no relation to Michael. And our partners announced national security charges against an Iranian man and a dual U.S.-Iranian citizen living in Massachusetts in connection with a fatal drone strike that killed 3 U.S. soldiers and injured 40 others. Terrible. So they had their press release. Here's what the complaint looks like. You can see this one came out, an affidavit in support of a criminal complaint. This guy says, I'm an FBI agent, and I have been since 2016, currently investigating export problems. I'm familiar with how people try to get around these rules. Now, the facts here are my personal observations. And here's what I figured out. Abedini was a co-founder, and he works for that company. Now, the overwhelming majority of SDRA's net sales came from the sale of its navigation system called the Saphir navigation system. And they sold that to Iran. It's a strategic missile, air, and space force within the IRGC, and they have counterintelligence under the supreme leader of Iran. Now, Sadeghi was an employee of the company, and then they founded another company in Switzerland to maneuver the info to Switzerland, so it doesn't look like it's going directly to Iran. Their near exclusive sale of the system to the Iranians also benefited the Iranians. Based on my training, I know that they develop UAVs, which has been provided to and utilized by Iran-backed militias across the Middle East. And remember, we saw that story about these drones flying around New York and New Jersey from that other Republican representative who said that there was an Iranian mothership off the coast, saying this Saphir navigation system has played a direct role in attacking U.S. troops. On January of this year, 3 U.S. service members were killed. More than 40 others were injured. The military outpost is known as Tower 22. The drone that caused the death was recovered, and the drone analyzed by the FBI. That analysis found Sadraco Ltd, also known as the SDRA, in the data strings on the microcontroller. The analysis found that the firmware used in the navigation system was a version of Cepher. So this guy's providing software to drones that are blowing up Americans. The International Economic Powers Act, right, says you can't do this. The president signed executive orders. We protect our stuff. There's export controls. You can't ship sensitive stuff out. We know that the Iranians are on the list of don't ship stuff to them. Among its activities, they've actively targeted nationals of the United States and allies for killing. They're very upset about Soleimani's death after Trump took him out on that tarmac. And here are some more about these people. This guy currently serves as the administrator for the Iranian Space Agency. And since at least 2014, they've sold stuff to that government entity. They sell integrated and inertial navigation systems. These military applications have been part of their business plan since at least 2014. And they've been doing it, obviously, for a while. Then they created a business proposal in August 2015 for an elite group in Iran. They sought a loan for almost $800,000, and then they scheduled meetings to talk about this. Here's some of the conversation. Based on the investigation, I say person 1 and person 2 understood that their plans to set up the companies, they knew they were in violation of the law. Here's how I know. For example, on December 3rd, 2015, person 2 sent an email to Sadegate and person 1 to schedule a meeting. In that email, he knew that person 1 was the CEO and the president and owner of this company and asked to have the weekends off. Person 1 said, you can have all the weekends off if you want, if you promise to bring me some chai when I'm in jail. Bring me something delicious when I'm sitting around in solitary confinement. Similarly, on August 1st, Sadegate asked person 1 for input on the name of the sister company, stating, after all, it is all yours. I guess I should know what name it is when I am in court getting sentenced. Okay, so they're like joking, like, no, it's all good. Yeah, no, I'll see you in prison. And they just kept doing it. Yikes. From in at least or about August 2018, they've been shipping this stuff out. They have licenses that they're not getting. And Abedini was procuring these parts. While a student, he sought parts from another U.S. company. He says, I'm studying, I need these for sensors, okay, for my PhD thesis in robotics. Yeah. U.S. company said, we can't give you those sensors because there's laws. Then he traveled to Switzerland, and then there he completed projects, and those products were shipped to Switzerland, okay? So he just goes to Switzerland. He says, well, I'm going to do my thesis and study my PhD over there. Great. Then they shipped them over there. Then there were emails. Company 1 advised Abedini, saying you cannot take those parts to Iran. He sent an email to the officials at a Geneva airport in Switzerland, asking whether he could transport, quote, sample parts. He's like, do you think I can get these sample parts in my luggage? He falsely told Swiss officials that there were general parts with no restrictions. He's like, these are just like Legos, just like Legos. Don't even worry about it. He attached the invoice for the company to the email. And according to the company and their export classification page, you can't do that. Then he traveled to Iran. I have reason to believe he took those components in his luggage in violation of U.S. law. Now, between those parts also included microcontrollers. Then they worked together in Iran. Then they placed more orders from U.S. people to get more so they could reverse engineer them and put them in their drones. Same thing happened here. They were going through Hong Kong and other places, and they were just setting up fronts. So you can see this just goes on and on and on. So this is good work from this special agent, obviously following this guy for a very long time, navigation algorithms and more. Now, does that have anything to do with the drones that we're seeing in the skies? Who knows? But Homeland also released this report. They said, all right, there's a joint statement for all you people who are so nervous about this stuff. Relax. Here's a statement from Homeland, FBI, FAA, and the DOD about how crazy everybody is. There are more than 1 million drones lawfully registered with the FAA in the United States. And there are thousands of commercial, hobbyist, and law enforcement drones that fly around in the sky at any given day. With the technology landscape evolving, we expect that number increases over time. The FBI has received more than 5,000 reported drone sightings in the last few weeks, with approximately 100 leads generated, which means you're all just crazy. And the federal government is supporting state and local officials in investigating these reports. Consistent with each of our unique missions and authorities, we are working quickly to prioritize and follow these leads. We have sent advanced detection technology to the region, and we have sent trained visual observers too, like Adam Kinzinger. Having closely examined examined the technical data and tips from concerned citizens, we assess that the sightings to date include a combination of lawful, commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, and stars mistakenly reported as drones. We have not identified anything anomalous and do not, I'm surprised they didn't say the moon too, activity to date to present a national security or public safety risk in civilian airspace in New Jersey or other states in the Northeast. Saying, that said, we do recognize concerns among many communities. We continue to support state and local authorities with advanced detection technology and support law enforcement. We urge Congress, though, to enact counter-UAS legislation when it reconvenes that would expand existing drone authorities. Now, additionally, there have been a limited number of visual sightings of drones over military facilities in New Jersey and elsewhere, including within restricted airspace. Such sightings near or over DoD are not new. DoD takes unauthorized access over its airspace seriously, coordinates with local authorities as appropriate. Local commanders are actively engaged to ensure that they are appropriately detecting and putting mitigation measures in place. Okay, so that's from Homeland. And I think, again, they're saying everybody's crazy. And the stuff that's up there are lawful commercial drones, or they're lawful law enforcement drones, or they're manned fixed-wing aircraft, or helicopters, stars, could be many things. Maybe it's even the moon, who knows? So that's what they say. We also saw that Newark, FBI Newark, said, please don't shine lasers up there. FBI Newark and New Jersey State Police want to warn the public about an increase in pilots being hit in the eyes with lasers because people are shining them at the drones or whatever's up there. FBI Newark and others saying, don't do it. They've been out every night for several weeks to legally track down operators acting illegally or with nefarious intent. However, there could be dangerous and deadly consequences if manned aircraft are targeted mistakenly. Mis-ID often occurs when they're mistaken for other objects like manned aircraft, celestial bodies like planets or stars. To improve accuracy, a variety of tools and techniques can be used to assist with visual identification. This is critical. Now, there are many different websites that can give you ideas of what's up there. And so just look to see, but don't shine lasers up in the sky.